Hello, very dear students. Today, once again, we are on Walt Whitman, and this time it is section 21 of the poem Song of Myself by Walt Whitman. As you have been finding that it's a very rich poem and is all the time trying to connect mankind with the nature, as the poet also considers himself to be the part of nature and wants to be dissolved into nature, and he knows that even after his dissolution, he will be another form of life. So with the same tone, this section also begins. The poet says, I am the poet of the body and I am the poet of the soul. The players of heaven are with me and the pains of hell are with me. The first I graft and increase upon myself, the later I translate into a new tongue. So in the very opening lines of the poem, the poet is suggestive that he is not only to do the poetry of poetry, but also that of the soul, because he has to live these two aspects of life. Not only physically he is present, but also with respect to his soul, he will also be present. So when he is considered a physical human being, definitely he can enjoy the heavens or he can bear the pains of the hell. Now this counts for the worldly life as well as that of the life hereafter. That if he is here in this world and doing good things, possibly he may be entering into heaven and earning very good things for himself. But on the other hand, if he is not performed well, he may be earning something very bad for himself, that is hellish. But the poet says that these are both the parts of life, these are both the aspects of life. That is why these two dimensions he has to achieve. While doing poetry, he has not to miss just one thing. He has to talk about both the things, that is body and the soul, that is heaven and the hell, and that is everything like that he wants to talk about. How beautifully the last line goes to explain, I show that size is only development. According to him, the passage of life is the development, the passing of the life from one part of the world to the other, that is from this word to the next word. According to him, it's simply a development. And so he is developing, and ultimately he will be able to achieve the final goal of his life. It's a very beautiful philosophy that mankind lives in human physicality as well as among the souls, and in both ways he is going to do the poetry, not only that of physical but also that of the soul. The second or the next lines of the poem are, have you outstripped, next line of the poem are, I chant the chant of dilation or pride. We have had ducking and deprecating about enough. I show that size is only a development. So according to the poet, the kind of enlargement which takes place in human body is the topic of his singing. He says that the pride which somebody feels, but after that the same pride falls down, and similarly his decrease in the importance in this world, that also continues to happen. The sizes of the things keep on decreasing, keep on increasing as well. He says it is simply the development, it's no change at all. If somebody rises in life, it's not matter important, because decrease in life will also come up, and if somebody is decreasing in life, will rise up as well. In that way, both the things continue to happen. The poet says that he will be singing about all. It is not the case that he will be singing only for the rising up. He will also be singing for the people who are going down, or the aspects of life which he wants to say that he will be taking care of. Next he says, have you also tripped the rest? Are you the president? It's a trifle. They will more than arrive there, everyone, and still pass on. I am he that walks with the tender and the growing night. I call to the earth and sea half held by the night. Press close, bare-bosomed night, press close, magnetic, nourishing night, night of south winds, night of the large few stars, still nodding night, mad, naked summer night. So by taking care of the symbol of the night, he on the one way associates the fall or the decrease of the man with the darkness of the night, but then he again talks about the rising of the man, just like the president. He says that by outstripping other people, one can become the president. That's not that important thing in the life, though it's important, but not that important. And because of that, he says he will be singing about the rising of the president also. He will be singing about a person who rises up, and then passes on and ultimately comes to downward spiral and is held in the same way by the night as the earth is held by the night. He says that this is a kind of nourishing magnetic night which will also help us in order to do these things. So that's why he says night of the south winds, night of the large few stars, still nodding night and naked summer night. So in that way he is talking about the night in many aspects, in many dimensions. For example, night is magnetic also, night is the winds also, night is the stars also, night is the nodding night, night is the naked summer night as well. All these aspects of life will be talking about. On the physical aspect, day and night are quite different. Day is for rising and night is for sleeping. Same is the case with the human life, that when our day is there, the human life may be growing up, and when the night of the human life is there, it may be decreasing up. In the same way, these are the careers, these are the ambitions of human being, which if continue to rise may be called day, and if continue to decrease may be called night. And so night also, or the fall also, human being has number of things in it to be learned, to be absorbed. According to him, he will be not only singing the song of the daylight, of the progress, of becoming important in this world, but also will be talking about the people who have nights in their life, or the weather phenomenon or time phenomenon of night. He says he will be talking about. He cannot leave that, but he will talk more about the night, because here he will find the seeds to experiment and to grow further and to increase the life. So in that way, he is the poet of good thing also, he's the poet of bad thing also, he's the poet of the day also, he's the poet of the rise also, he's the poet of the fall also, he's the poet of the night also, and he seems to be more attracted by the night. So the poet keeps on saying, smile of voluptuous cool breathed earth, earth of the slumbering and liquid trees, earth of departed sunset, earth of the mountains misty topped, earth of the vitreous spore of the full moon just tinged with blue, earth of shine, earth of mottling, the tide of the river, earth of the limpid, grey of the clouds, brighter and clearer for my sake. So that is converting. The poet is talking about the earth now. He says earth is very much voluptuous, very much attractive for him, and he needs to sing about the earth also, because earth is the very lab into everything goes. For example, he counts one by one by saying that the trees are present in this earth. These trees are inside the earth also, outside the earth also. They are the part of this earth, and that is why they keep on to be the part of that. And similarly, he says when the sun sets, at that time it is the earth. It is the earth on which the mountain tops are present. It is the earth on which the moon rises with different colors of light it gives. It is the blue sky of the earth. It is the shine of the marks of the shine of the river is there, and shining, twinkling rivers can be there. And then he also talks about the limpid grey clouds, for example, clear grey clouds, he says, they are also present there, and they become clearer with the passage of time. They are also on the earth. So all these things, according to him, are on the earth. So earth is the very center point with which the poet would like to attach himself. He says there are thousands of ways of attaching with the earth. Here we remind ourselves of Wordsworth, who talks about the nature in different forms, like rivers, shining stars, and the moon, and the light of the sun, and then that of the river flowing, the noise of the river, and the song of the winds also, and the trees and the flowers and the plants he talks about. Same is the thing with that. But the Wordsworth didn't talk about the attachment with the earth. And this one is the poet who talks in a very modern terminology, that this is the earth into lap of which we have to go, in whose lap already these things are present, and ultimately we have to return to the lap, that lap which is the destiny of all of us. And that is why he says that he likes that it would be singing the song of this earth. The ending portion of the poem says, for swooping elbowed earth, rich apple blossomed earth, smile for your lover comes. And these are the very lines which prove my point of view, that the poet concludes that when death will come to him, he will return to its beloved, and that beloved is the earth, because earth is the place where the pushing and pulling movements are going on, and earth is the place where apple are giving their fluorescent, and not only they give fluorescent but also scent of the flowers is present, and therefore he says this very happy. And when the union would take place, according to the poet, he will go, and the earth will also be happy, like two lovers they will be meeting. So that is the ultimate ultimate message of the poet, that as we have to come down to earth, have to go down into the earth. So why should we simply talk about life? We should talk about the death also, not simply about the body. We should talk about the soul also, not simply about the heaven's joys, but also we should talk about the pains of hell. And then in that way, every aspect of life ending into the earth. Earth is the very place which is the growing place, which is the burying place, which is the changing place, dissolution place, and giving birth into new ways and new means of life. That is the very earth. That is why the poet says he will come and will be welcomed and will be happy to attach himself with earth. And again, the last two lines, the ending lines say, prodigal, you have given me love. Therefore I to you give love. Oh, unspeakable, passionate love. And that is the now degree of love which the poet says that is got with the earth. And that's why he says, I received love from you because you gave me birth, because you helped me grow up, because you provided me food, because you provided everything for me, sunlight and etc., etc. These things you provided, and that was the love with which you gave everything to me. And so now it is my turn to come back to you, hold you, hug you, and kiss you to prove that I am equally ready to give you my love. And especially when the poet says that he will be burying himself inside the earth to get a new birth, that will be the ultimate destruction of the lover into the laps of the beloved, and that's what he's going to do. And that's why he says that I have come to return to you my love. And this love is unspeakable, not only from the part of earth, from the part of nature, but also from the part of the poet. It is the love which is passionate love. It is the love which is deep, sincere love which he has come to return to the earth. And that is the total poem and the philosophy of the poem, that basically the poet says that we are born out of earth, we grow out of earth, and we are therefore in love with earth. The earth is therefore a mother that takes everybody into its lap, and then everybody has to enter into that and ultimately come out of that. So we have not to only sing about the life, we have to sing about the death also. We have not only about to sing about the soul, but that of body also. Everything we need to talk about, everything we need to discuss about, and the poet definitely throughout the poem in different sections is talking about different things. So this section ends over here. I hope that some of the interpretations have been understood, and if it is so, do not fail to hit the subscribe button and then the like button, and give me your suggestions and comments also. Sometime I'd like to answer the questions as well. So thank you very much for watching this. Hope to see you again in some next video. Keep safe, keep happy, keep peaceful as well.